everyone, welcome to your PD and this is Shubhya. This video is very important for all the aspirants of IOCL. Why I'm saying so? When you are paying attention towards your group discussion, group task and interview, you need to understand one very important thing, and that is on what parameters or on what grounds we are going to be judged or shortlisted in these three categories. Now here I will showcase an Excel sheet which we prepare for our students, and here what you have to do is you can simply note down what are the parameters and how you need to prepare for this. Like taking into consideration first a group discussion. There are several aspects. Many times students have a doubt, ma'am, it's all about speaking in a group discussion. No, it's not only about speaking. Very first thing is introduction. Now all of the students do not get a chance to introduce. In the finals event, one person is introducing it out. So here you have to speak it out who gave the initiative or who took the initiative to introduction. Even that person is given good marks, or you can say marks are given on this basis. Structure. Now the way you introduce, that is fine, but did you follow the sequence? Did you follow the structure? The right way of introducing, are you following it out? So you get a mark for that and you get parameters for it. Then is number of times you entered. Now see, many times our students feel hyperactivism is good. No, you are not letting others speak, wrong take. Low participation, one time entry, no, that's a low participation or when. You have to indulge yourself into the discussion minimum 3 to 4 times, and that is a good number of participation that you need to remember. Then it's all about your communication and fluency. See, you can converse, be it English, be it Hindi, you can converse in any language. But the thing should be that your flow should be good. It should not be that you are speaking and you're lagging behind and you're reading and then you're speaking. All these things are being marked whenever you are speaking. If your flow is not good, your narratory skills are not good, you get 0 in that run, and rest then being it is counted whenever you are evaluated in a group discussion. Next important parameter, it is your language. Now many a time students follow an informal language style, and I repeat it out, never follow informal language in your group discussions. If you follow informal language, you are going to be either disqualified or it is a kind of remark that you are not giving courteousness or you're not paying a good respect to your fellow mates. So make sure your language is quite formal and it is not drifting. One time you're speaking all-liner in Hindi, then you keep it in your local language, then you start speaking English. No, it should not be blend. It can be a blend of Hindi and English, that is good. But if you are again and again speaking the same line in English, then Hindi, then English, and your flow is not good, then it's a negative one for you. Then it is all about your relevant content. See, this is very, very important. You have to speak if a group discussion is given to you. How many times do you participate? All these things are very important. But what about the relevant content? Are you giving quality content or you are just speaking for the sake of speaking? I mean, that is a negative run. So you have to give very quality and relevant content and you get marks on this basis. Coordination, that's very important. You need to coordinate with your fellow mates. It should not be that you are not letting them speak. It should be that you are maintaining a kind of a coordination with them. You are moving in flow with them. You're making them help also to take the initiative, helping them out to speak. That's your coordination skills. So that is whenever you are in a group discussion on a group task, make sure that you coordinate with your friends, and this is a way you have to start in your group discussions. Listening. Very, very important thing, you have to start your linkages. As soon as the introduction starts or it ends, right, you have to listen it very carefully. And then you need to note down some pointers that am I attentive, am I just giving my pointer, or am I mixing that point with the introduction one, right? So it is that making a sequence of that content which is important for you. Then is creativity. Innovative ideas are most welcome and get the star points for it. Example, oh my god, that is something that you need to put up in your group discussion. I again and again repeat it out. The ones who give good examples, the one who gives, you can say it out not only about examples but quality related incidents, like some incident took place, some movie example, anything, real life incident. If you can portray in your group discussion, you get an innovative take on your side. Supporting others, yes. If others are not letting the person speak and you tell it out, please, I want to hear your opinion also. Let this person also speak. So that is, you are supporting others, and if you are supporting, that means you are a good team leader. Then it is all about deviation. Many times in a group discussion, the basic flaw is that you digress or deviate from that particular topic, and that is not welcomed in a group discussion. So take into consideration that you do not deviate from that topic, and the ones who do, they get negatives in that one. Strength. So when we are making this group discussion or this Excel sheet, the basic point is to help you out that what are your star points. Are you good in introduction? Do it. If you're not good in introduction, that would be no weakness. So you need to measure that which things I am good in. Am I good in giving best of the relevant examples? Am I good in asking questions in between the group discussion? All these parameters are being analyzed, and then only you are being shortlisted. Then is your conclusion, the ones who take an initiative to conclude, even that is another perspective, and remarks. That is the common remarks that where you need to work, what is your structure, are you following it out. So this is a structure or remark or the first parameter which I showed for the group discussions to you. Now coming to the case of group task, more or less group task and group discussion are same in terms of the parameters. But yes, there are certain skills that are a differentiator in these two also. Now see, again, it is all about the introduction, the structure you need to follow, number of times you have entered, the communication fluency, language you need to maintain it out, relevant content, a big star, the right jargons you are utilizing or not. Now it is your coordination and cooperation. Taking your candidates or taking your fellow mates along in an opinion, helping them speak their pointers or helping them in accepting their pointers, that is also a big initiative. Group task is all about coordination between the employees, to maintain the coordination and to maintain, or you can say to make a mutual consensus, and that is going to give you some extra marks on a group task. Listening, be attentive to others also. Creativity, how innovative are your ideas, real life examples, supporting others, helping others to speak, deviating, do not digress from the topic. What is the topic? What is the need of that question? Always answer to that line. What are your strength points? Which part is very strong of yours? Which part is your weak? Consensus building. That is, are you able to formulate a single consensus or not? Did your team was able to formulate mutual consensus, or everyone were drifting in different directions? So that is something where your team is going to be evaluated and you are going to be evaluated. Did you every time did not showcase any support to your team, or you showed some good support to your teammates? So this is very important in a group task, guys. So consensus and cooperation and coordination, these two qualities are, or these two parameters are only differentiator in group task and group discussion. Coming to the third important skill, and that is your interview. That is where you are being analyzed on your HR part. Technical is another, where all the technical stuff. But here I'm going to talk to you particularly about the HR round. Whenever in PSU, the HR plays a very crucial role. So you need to understand there is always an introduction format. I've told the students multiple times, never start mentioning about your family background. Don't mention unnecessary details. You don't have to read your CV in front of them. It should always be, you should need to focus on your star points whenever you are introducing to the person. Second is company profile knowledge. Are you aware about IOCL? What projects are being carried? Have you read the website? So this is something very important, because they need to understand, in case you are going for the interview, did you even have the time to surf towards their site? And if no, then you are not doing the qualitative research. Then it is CV related, whatever you have mentioned in your CV. Do you stick to those words? Because many times you just write for the sake of writing. You just speak for the sake of speaking some fancy words in front of them. But it's not the case. They are very smart enough to test you out. Are you writing the right stuff in your CV or not? Then it is all your facial expressions. Yes, do your body language, do your gestures, facial expressions match with what you are saying? Are you in a state of anxiety, nervousness? And if you are feeling, or if you are saying something serious, do you have those expressions on your face even? So this is all about the facial expressions. Length of answer, it should not be a very elongated. See, in an interview, remember one thing, you are not the sole person who is speaking. It's an interactive session, one-to-one session. If you are speaking something, the other person should have developed the same interest to ask you questions. It should not be you are the only person who is continuously speaking for the last 2-3 minutes, and it creates a kind of disinterestedness in front or in terms of the interviewer. Then it's all about Honesty and bluffing. Now see, I tell my students to be honest, but over or excessiveness of something is really bad. Don't be too honest in saying that, ma'am, I need this job only because of the monetary benefits, some kind of a perks which are going to have, and the life of private is very, you can say the work-life balance is not there, job security I need, layoffs are there. No. These are not the right choice of answers when you are mentioning in your like why you want to go for a PSC or anything. Bluffing, even you don't need to lie to a huge extent. I only want to contribute to my nation and that is why I'm coming towards a sector. No, if you had to contribute, you can go towards any other sector. Being in private firm also, you can contribute to the nation very well. And being a 20-year-old kid or so far to that age, what you have done to contribution to your nation till now? If you are so much interested in contribution, you should not be building your career only in IOCL then. So there are always some kind of a negatives of speaking too much truth. There are always negatives of bluffing. Take a case where being honest, but yes, you term them the right answer. In that case, this is very, very important parameter. Gesture and posture, the way your body language is. See, you should be moving your hands, but it should not be looking like a robotic structure that you're continuously moving your hands. The way you sit, the way you enter a cabin and everywhere, you're talking to everyone. These all hand body gestures are very, very important. So work on these things. Communication skills, yes. Are you speaking in a good narrative skills? Confidence, do your face look nervous? Are you carrying a list or anxiety inside you, or a very confident fellow? Then it is co-curricular activities, how much you have participated in the co-curricular activities. Your language, are you using some informal slang or only formal one? Now it is about your SWOT analysis. Strength and weaknesses, don't mention too many strengths, don't even think that you don't have a weakness. So you have to accept it out, you have to think very carefully what are your strengths, what are your key traits, and what is your weakness, how you're working on it, how you overcome it out. Hobbies and interests is a favorite section of a person who is taking your interview in a PSU. They ask it out, and many a times I have seen that people just speak some hobby and they do not even practice it out. They don't even they are not even engaged in it. That, ma'am, I don't get time, so I'm not engaged in this hobby as of now, or since last 5-6 years I'm not doing that hobby. So how it is your hobby? So you have to justify your hobby and you have to use the right words. If reading is your hobby, which are the books you are reading, and at least be aware about the 3 books you have read. Many a time students do say us that reading is their hobby, but they are not even aware about the 3 good books which they have read, or 3 good authors of whom they read the books. Make it a point, whatever you speak, justify those things. And then it is about your project internship, case study, and ultimately are the remarks which we provide that where you are going to work on. Now my ultimately purpose of this video was to showcase that it's not only one parameter on which you're going to be judged in a group discussion, group task or interview round. There are multiple parameters. You can note it down, work on them individually. In this Excel sheet, our students, I assure you that this thing would be indulged whenever there's a competition and other students are also written on the same sheet and you are being evaluated. You think that if other person can score well, why not I? And if in this list, if you're not able to score in a good run, competition is always going to make you prepare better and practice is going to make you perfect. Just remember these 2 things and start working in the right direction. So for any problem, you can just drop up in the comments, and I wish you all the very best. Keep preparing in the right direction and do practice, practice and practice. Take care, all the best and have a good day. Bye-bye.